Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between WowProtoss and Frisk on Dusk Towers. Yes, I do know this is Frisk. He's a 16-year-old GM level player who lives in Germany. And let's get right on into it. In the top side of the map we have the red Terran player. It is WowProtoss. I don't know if that's sarcastic or what. It is possible this was a salty name created by this Terran saying, "Wow, Protoss, you're so good with your adepts and stuff." And in the bottom side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Frisk. Going by barcode here, I'm not sure entirely why. He seems to switch up his names fairly often, but for those of you who are Frisk fans, here's another Frisk replay. So here we are with a Protoss versus Terran on Dusk Towers. I know usually I have a hard time finding PvT matchups, but lately I've been getting a lot. So for those of you who are fans of this matchup, rejoice and be happy, for Falcon Paladin hath found many PvTs for you to experience and should make you happy. So PvT here on Dusk Towers, once again, I know I keep saying that, but it just makes me excited. So both players getting their basic unit production structures, barracks here and a gateway here. A good luck, have fun at the 1 minute mark from WowProtoss. Frisk throwing back the good luck, have fun yourself. It looks like it's about a Reaper Expand. Again, Reaper Expand's not that fantastic against Protoss who know what they're doing. They'll have a Mothership Core out. They'll have an Adept out. I don't know. It's just difficult to pull off, or at least a Stalker. But we'll see what WowProtoss does. Ready? On your mark. Get set. Go. Nope. Not going for the reactor. Not going for the Reaper. He is going for a reactor. Rather, this probe trying to deny this expansion as long as he can. 2 SCVs were pulled off, and he's trying to block it. Oh my gosh, he's still going to block it. That's so annoying. WowProtoss has enough for the base, finally throws it down, and it is perfectly placed. It is. Okay, good job, WowProtoss. APM for these players, over 300 each. Again, this is a GM, I think, on the European ladder. So pretty fantastic play indeed. Again, I expect to see Frisk in some pretty big tournaments someday. So you can say, hey, not only did I know Falcon Paladin before he was big, I knew Frisk when he was just a 16-year-old kid in Germany. Alrighty then. Meanwhile, SCV down here checking to make sure a base is coming up from Frisk. It's not a crazy one base play, and it's definitely not. Cybernetics core is there. Mothership core on the way because of that. And our first Adept popping on out. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if this is before or after the balance patch as the Marines take down that probe. So we'll see how much damage these Adepts actually do. If it's plus 13 to light, then it's before the patch. If it's plus 12 to light, it's after the patch. So we'll have to see how that works out for us. A lot of Marines, though. Yeah, this is what you do against Adepts. You get a bunch of Marines, sit up at the top of your ramp, you wait for the Adept to show up, you burn it down before it can actually kill any of your boys, and then you win. That's pretty much how it rolls. Okay, here's the Adept. 23 versus light. Okay, so this is prior to the patch. Not long before, but it is definitely before. Adept's going to head on out. It's going to get completely shut down here by WowProtoss. I mean, unless the Marines go a completely wrong direction and the Adept slips past them. Yeah, I mean, look at even how they're positioned. This is something Terran players have been doing. I know you're going to say, hacks, but no. Look at that. Sutter step forward, and the Adept dies immediately. Got a single shot off before she was killed. WowProtoss knows the timing of that Adept push and was darn near ready for it. Didn't lose a single unit. Nicely done, WowProtoss. You know what? This could be a Smurfs for someone, a pro player, and I wouldn't even know. But man, the APM is just so high for both these players. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if one of these dudes was not pro at some level. So the Marines heading on out. We have a Cyclone on the way. Cyclones, again, a good way to deal with Warp Prism drops that might come your way from a friendly Protoss. There's a Warp Prism on the way for Frisk, so that makes sense. Resonating Glaives upgrade increases the attack speed of Adepts by 45%. And Warp Gate just about to complete. So we're going to throw down some more gateways to turn them into Warp Gates when the time comes. Now the question is, does Frisk want to go for a 3rd base, or does he want to go for a 2-base attack? I'd be surprised if Frisk went for a 2-base. Yeah, throwing down a pylon here tells me he's likely to throw down a Nexus. He does have the mineral count for it in just a couple of seconds, and ready, set, Nexus. There it is. There it is. Mothership core here too. Let's see how much energy. 25 damage on that photon overcharge. So yeah, not 50. Still 25. Again, a little bit older on the patch, but it hasn't changed a whole lot. I wouldn't have to stay. Still, some pretty amazing stuff to be seen. Marines here just to make sure an Oracle doesn't show up and start killing all of his stuff. WowProtoss is not scouted darn near at all except for that Nexus. And I mean, the probe scouting from Frisk was a little better, but still not that fantastic. So here comes the Warp Prism with the depths on the inside, but there are Marines here, and there are all sorts of mean things ready to go. Warping an additional Adepts. Is this Marine count high enough? There's a tank splashing on in. The Adepts gonna try to go somewhere. They're just running. They are running straight for this natural. There is a Cyclone. The SCVs run for their lives here, and here comes some Marines to try to deal with this as well. A nice surround, actually. Nope, can't quite get the surround. The Adepts trying to murder everything they can, trying to get that Cyclone. No, can't quite do it. Give it. No, the Cyclone lives. The Adepts managed to get back on here, but there are tanks ready to go. And boosh, getting completely destroyed there. Are those Adepts? Another group of Adepts are here, though. 4 of them trying to run back in, but WowProtoss says no. Nope, not going to happen. You might kill a couple of our workers, but you're going to lose all your Adepts, and that is not a good trade in our estimation. The Cyclone using lock-on does have 2 kills, so I mean, not the best thing ever. It didn't really manage to take down this Warp Prism. I was surprised he didn't send a small group of Marines, or maybe the Cyclone over to kill this Warp Prism when it was just sitting here in warping mode for so long, but so far, WowProtoss is doing an excellent job. He has lost 9 SCVs and 2 Marines for 12 Adepts. That's a lot of dead gas. Let's take a look here. What the? There we go. Resources lost 1,200 minerals, 300 gas for our Protoss player, and only 500 minerals lost. But again, 9 SCVs, which is kind of a bummer. However, I think WowProtoss can pull this off. It's 56 to 40 harvesters, though. 3 bases here. Frisk has really been probing up behind all of this harassment, and WowProtoss kind of been stuck in his base. This might be part of the reason they nerfed Adepts, if we're going to be honest with ourselves. Here we go. Barracks. Ba-doom. Moving back on here. Kind of moving back on in here. The Cyclone's ready to go. It can take you down very quickly. A lot more gateways here. The scan checks out. Oh, crap. There is a 3rd base, and it's fully saturated, and there's Immortals and Sentries on the field. What does WowProtoss do in this situation? Takes a 3rd base of his own. He's really just going for bio with some pretty good tank count here, too. This is a lot more tanks than we usually see in PvT. 4 tanks with continued tank production. Stim +1. Infantry weapons. Blink just about to finish for Frisk. Warp Prism heading on out to do another drop back here possibly, but look at these Marines. They are so ready to go. They have Combat Shield. They have Stim. They almost have Stim. Not quite. Dropping Adepts in here to cause some problems. Force some units out this way. Pick them up. Boost them out. Got them out of there. But the Marines, they're going to get the Warp Prism. Oh, Warp Prism backs on out, picks up, leaves. The action is too fast and furious to call, ladies and gentlemen. But WowProtoss rebuffing the attacks fairly efficiently. Frisk looking maybe to head on home. So he's going Stalker, Adept, Sentry, Immortal. Heading north towards his opponent with an Observer, clearing the way ahead. Warp gates are ready to go. It is 115 to 123 total supply. WowProtoss is technically ahead and starting to catch up on this worker count too, 63 to 58. So here comes a pretty darn big Adept attack. How many Adepts are on the field? The answer is 18. 18 Adepts. They have that Resonating Glaives. They don't have +1 attack though. Not sure. Okay, I think they'll be alright. So checking for a 4th base. There's definitely not one there. Warp Prism going to warp in more units right at the front door of WowProtoss. Can he hold? He has a pretty good split. He has Marines. He has tanks all over the place. The Stalkers might not do that well unless the Blink Micro is just godlike, which Frisk might be able to pull off. So here it comes. Adepts warping on in to see what we're dealing with at the top of this ramp. Says, you know what? I think we can handle this. Gonna try to kill that tank first. Guardian Shield is up, and the Adepts killing as many Marines as they can. The tanks in the back still splash damaging on everything. The Cyclone forced to retreat here. Adepts cleaning up a lot of bio. SCVs being forced to pull back as well. Pretty good Blink Micro moving the Stalkers back, but these tanks in the back are still crushing through everything here. Immortals trying to kill Marines. Not a good choice at all. Adepts on the right side still alive, but a lot of tank splash here. The Immortals trying to kill the tanks, but the tank Micro picking up, dropping by WowProtoss. Too darn good, and Frisk backs out. WowProtoss holds. Nicely done. Again, this tank placement was excellent. 4 kills, 3 kills, 2 kills, 6 kills. That is a corporal. WowProtoss throwing out the shade, man. Original build you got there. Yeah, I mean, I guess do what works is what Frisk would say. Adepts running in once again, forcing WowProtoss to respond to this crazy Adept harass and killing more SCVs as it goes, and then transferring over to here. Can't actually get through because of the wall up inside his own base. Look at that. Look at that from WowProtoss. How smart is this? I like it. Walling off so the Depths can't just run back and forth. They cannot shade through buildings. Excellent play indeed, but guess what? Frisk has a 4th base. Frisk has a 4th base, going for 2 more robotics facilities, getting more immortals, and a robotics bay, so he might be going for disruptors here. Meanwhile, WowProtoss actually getting vehicle weapons level 1 and +2 attack. Aren't his bio units, so 4 adepts. Move on in to see what they're dealing with. They do a quick scout and they decide to back on out. The Warp Prism not feeling like throwing away any more units than he already has today. Or the robot has today. I'm pretty sure Warp Prisms are just robots. Possibly inhabited by the soul of a Dark Templar or something. I really do not know. WowProtoss, I don't think has really moved across the other side of the map at all. Except for that SCV scout. So well, can he do this is the question. He has a lot of tanks, a bunch of Marines with +2 attack just about to finish right about now. And going for Colossus actually. Using the robotics facilities and the robotic bay to go for Colossus. Extended thermal lance. Is he basically saying, fine, you want me to go an original build? Here's some Colossus. It's not really original, but you don't see it a lot in Legacy of the Void. Will it work out for Frisk? I do not know. 4th base up and running. Another drop back here. Adepts trying to kill more workers. More Adepts warping on in. Is this enough to clean up this Marine support? The answer is I do not know. Still 3 Adepts remaining. Tank in the back splashing, not splashing, but hitting a lot of stuff here. All the Marines are dead. But the tank trying to hold his own against this Adept. The answer is tank. Tank wins. But that is still more units lost. Pushing back here is WowProtoss. 34 SCVs have been killed. 34! Not a good feeling. Not a good feeling if you're Terran at all. Picking up, boosting on down. It's WowProtoss and Adepts scouting out, seeing what's going on, using that psionic transfer. A lot of Adepts, or a lot of Marines and a lot of tanks. Is there extended thermal lance? Not quite yet. Double photon overcharge coming up. 1 pylon dies immediately. WowProtoss sending down more units from the north base, trying to kill what they can. Siege tanks landing in a pretty good spread. Look at this tank count, man. Siege and stimming forward. Here are the Marines. They kill the pylon. They're going after the Nexus too, but there are Colossus on the field. There are Immortals here. I don't know if Frisk can hold this. This is an amazingly strong push. Extended thermal lance about to finish in about 30 seconds. I'm not sure if Frisk has that much time. His 4th Nexus looks like it is definitely going to fall. So many tanks. The Marines come in to help on out with that DPS, and the 4th Nexus falls. Adepts going for it here. Extended thermal lance is done. The Adepts finish their transfer. Try to kill everything they can. Colossus from everywhere, tearing through these Marine counts. Marines are falling and burning left and right. Adepts trying to kill tanks. Not something you see every single day of the Wake. The Immortals as well. No Immortals left here though. Tanks trying to kill Colossus. A straight Colossus versus tank play. Haven't seen that a lot, but WowProtoss forced to pick up and head home. Reinforcements too heading on back. Who knew? Mass Colossus, man. Not too shabby. Frisk replanting his 4th base immediately, while WowProtoss did not attempt to throw down a 4th base of his own during that attack. But it almost worked out for him, but man, these Colossus were boss. 6 kills, 4 kills, 6 kills, 5 kills, 2 kills, 6 kills on these Colossus. They do have +1/+1 here. And pushing forward here is Frisk. These Marines are not very good against Colossus. You really need Marauders or Vikings to deal with that. WowProtoss, however, continuing with his Marine production, getting +3 infantry weapons. Yeah, nicely done. He does have a 4th command center just completed. Where is that thing? There it is, right at the front door. Going to move on over to take that 4th base. You have to worry about harass from the high ground if you plant it here, but it's closer than this 4th, so kind of have to decide what you're going to do. Frisk decides to head back home. He's getting a Templar Archives and a Dark Shrine. Also getting ground armor, level 2 ground weapons. Level 2, it's 146 to 135 total supply. Still up 10 workers here. There's Frisk, and being up 4 bases to 3 is also super useful. So here come the Marines. +3 attack on these guys. No armor, which is also a problem when going against Colossus, because the damage is 13 times 2, which is 26. And is that enough to 2? I almost need to 3 swipe on those Marines to kill them. Guess that's why Colossus aren't super popular in Legacy of the Void. Still, they do pretty good. An amazing spread here once again by WowProtoss, though. Colossus don't quite want to go in there, and Adept taking a lot of shots, but somehow living. Another psionic transfer comes up to see what we are dealing with if our name is Frisk, and the answer is still more tanks and Marines, man. Tanks and Marines, tanks and Marines. spreading them out, picking up and dropping the tanks. The tanks are going to try to drop at a little bit closer positions, spread out. Look at this beautiful tank drop. Nicely done, WowProtoss. All right, there are Archons, and going for it from all sides here is Frisk. Laser beams cutting everything left and right here. Siege tanks not being picked up and saved. Oh no, tanks are falling here. A lot of Marines are falling. This is just so many Colossus. Archon in the front, still alive with 4 kills of its own. Reinforcing units coming on down here. And oh no, WowProtoss with I'm sure you deserved this win. Again, throwing out the salt. Frisk with the Colossus 2. WowProtoss is defeated. Frisk is victorious and WowProtoss has left the game. That was crazy. That was insane. I mean, I think I do need to pin this on WowProtoss. He saw, hey, there were a ton of Colossus in that final attack. I'm going to stick with Marines and hope that will work out. And even with the negated, or I guess the nerfed damage by Colossus, that's still not a great idea, as evidenced by how many Marines died. You ready to guess how many Marines died in this game? I'm going to say it was at least 100. Ready, set, go. Marines killed. Oh my goodness. 211 Marines died. 211, and not a single Colossus died. Wow. All right, Colossus still good if your opponent is going straight Marine tank. Newsflash at 10 p.m. Also, was Frisk dropping up here? Frisk was trying to drop up here too. Good multitasking, Frisk. Always, always well done. All right, so that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. You can find Frisk on Twitch. There's a link in the description to his Twitch stream. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.